Alright guys, back in the video, and this time we're going to be going over the deck that I played in this past Saturday's locals to go undefeated until the last round. I lost to Cell Surge on stream. I played in first round, and shot at Alexis, played against him. Somehow came up with a dub. This deck is very interesting and different than a bunch of the other yellow leaders, but I still plays a lot of the standard yellow things, so if you like yellow, you'll like this deck. Before we get into the deck, make sure you check out the last stream so you understand the deck plays. I did showcase somewhat of most of the things it can do, and some things were not shown, but most of the things were shown in the two matches you'll see on stream. We will go into things you could change, especially depending on your meta and stuff like that as well. But before we get going even into detail about the deck, make sure to check out the links in the description and smash the like button. Leave a comment below about what you want to see next on the channel or whatever else you want to see. Tell me about how you're loving the live streams. Just leave comments below. It really helps out the algorithm and just helps out the channel grow. And make sure to check out my team's link tree in the description and join the Discord if you haven't already. They're doing some awesome giveaways with Joku DMD and the Hermit Style YouTube. So make sure you check out that content as well. So Future Gohan, when he attacks, draw a card, then he has a different type of awakening flip over skill instead of awaken. Burst 3, whenever one of your yellow blockers dies, draw 2 cards, then add up to 6 when you have 6 life, and then flip them over. And then he has a standard 4 less, untap 1, draw 1. So you get either draw 2 or untap 1, draw 1. I prefer to draw 2 because yellow looters really need the hand advantage. On the back, somehow he still has 2 arms. We're not going to talk about that. Attack, draw a card, then choose one of your yellow future trunks and get 5k. It gets 5k power and critical return, which is really important for your boss monster and just in general. It's just a really good effect. If you know me, I love future trunks, so you know how to build this deck. And I finally played it in locals because usually I just play meta or something I just really enjoy at the time. So either Cooler or Icarus. So I decided to play something different. He also has whenever your opponent attacks, you restand one of your future trunks and their blockers, the 3 and the 8. And then you get 6k for the power for the turn. So really cool leader. But the engine is where the thing shines. So you got 4 of your old searcher. This is a evolved target for your 3 cost, and it looks at the top 3 and tries to grab a yellow Sam. Can help grab a lot of good cards. And all these are in order. For the first 23 cards are all targets this card can grab. There are others that I side as well. So we'll get into detail with those afterwards. So you got your searcher. And then that's your evolve target as well. Then you have the main card to evolve on top. You evolve over top of the Trunks feature for 1. He has a barrier blocker, so he's very safe. He does not have deflect, but he's a low cost, 1 cost. Then you have activate main, pay 2, and then your opponent. And then you can play a 8 cost over top of him for 2 energy, and it has to be you have to have 4 energy. Then you have your big boy. I'm only playing 3 Kavis for now. 3 was fine the entire day, but this guy is the main boss monster. He has double strike, barrier, dual attack, blocker, and your leader gives him critical. So he has 5 keywords, and then he has an activate main. This card's in rest mode, and you can choose one of your opponent's energy and battle cards in rest mode and keep them where they can't untap for the whole entire turn. So this can lock down boss monsters like thwarting and stuff like that, especially like you rest them with a counterplay, Goku steadfast, and then next turn you're never going to let it ever untap. So really important to remember that effect. Just don't pass turn after swinging. More targets. This is your 1 cost Self Awakener. This is not that important, but sometimes it is nice when you get stuck at 6 to knock yourself to 5, so you can take your next opponent's attack with your counter attack that spawns a token. Frieza Army Reinforcements. So this helps you get to 5, which is really important. This doesn't come up in every matchup, but it's just really good, especially whenever you're trying to awaken. So you can they can keep you stuck at 5, and then you can't get a blocker on board that you want to die, but mainly just steadfast. So if you can't get steadfast early on, this can help you get from 5 to 4 because they will try to stall you out because they know that critical effect on your for your boss is really key. Steadfast Assistance. This is your main form of awakening. You counterplay one of their battle cards or you're responsible units until you can get them on board. Block the next swing, and then you awaken and draw 2 and burst 3. Really important to remember that he can counterplay on unison as well, even if you're not doing anything to rest. And he draws you a card too. 4 Turles. Your leader is a Yellow Sand, so why not play one of the best support cards for Yellow Sand? Pay 2, play this guy, draw a card, kill things in rest mode, and kill up to 2 things. If you choose 1, you draw a card, and yeah, if you choose 2, you don't draw a card. Really good card, and it can help you finish the game as well sometimes because it's dual tech. And the secret rare for this deck is searchable. The Wicked Sand is a Yellow Sand, even though the 1-drop does not specify it being a mono yellow. And this card is just an extra super combo in the deck that can pay 2 to attempt to bring him into play unless they tap 4 things, and then he comes into play if they don't, and then they discard 2 cards. Really good. So we are playing the Slug Package. 3 Lord Slug, pay 1, draw 1. And then you pay 1, you can rest one of their battle cards, which is kind of important. It helps get rid of Black Mass Sand. Really actually nice. And then this card can also pay 1 to put him in the drop area and play a slug from your hand. And this is the one. So he has Barrier, Bond 2, Unique. While he's in rest mode, your opponent cannot add cards with the skills that are not leader effects. So no cantrips, no super combos. That's the main effects that you're concerned about. Get them getting effects off of. And it can just starve their hand and help you clear game whenever you're trying to go in with your boss monster. It's the main purpose of it. It allows you it helps your boss actually kill. Especially if they're holding like a stack of Paraguses in their hand and stuff like that. Or any super combos in general. And then he has pay 1, discard him, play Lord Slug 1-drop from the deck, which is really good. The non-Saiyans, staples, 4 make freeze or bite riposte. This is your main form of defense. They got to rest a card to swing, and then it triggers Poutine, which we haven't gotten to yet. Got one of his brother, Cooler. This is just your form of anti-counter attack, which helps your boss monster finish the game. This is just really good. There's the second one to the side. 1 Bergamo. This card's limited for a reason, but it does not come up that often in this build. But it's still a broken card, so why not play 1? Not the searchable super combo. I wish this was a Saiyan, but it's not. It would make a deck a lot better, actually. This is 4 of your best yellow super combo. Bottom deck, draw 2. Helps you get rid of extra cards out of your hand whenever you're trying to push, and helps you get rid of a few 10Ks. You're not there's not many 10Ks in the deck, so it helps you get rid of some of them whenever you really need them out of your hand. 4 Power of a Super Saiyan. This is so good. Rest a card, draw a card, or just a regular negate. 3 Final Flash. This is not that crazy in this build, but like I said, you can bottom deck it and draw. So it's not that bad to have these in your hand as extra power for comboing, because most of the deck is 5Ks. 3 Frieza Reinforcements. Most people just play around this, by the way. So just keep that in mind. But it's also a threat, so they can't just always shot a shotgun from 2 to 0 or 3 to 0 because they're scared of the card most of the time. 3 Reinforcements. Spawn a token, take a life if you're 5 or less. Really good at helping you awaken. 2 Poutine. Really want to see this card in your earlier turns, so 2 is actually phenomenal. Then 2 other round choices got Secret Identity and Mira, Soften Disguise. Removal, which really good for yellow, and then you got Mira, which is a double striker that pay you, and then he draws you a card, so it doesn't starve, because this deck does get starved for cards sometimes. So this Overrealm does draw you, like replace itself, and it's another 30k double strike that doesn't require you to play Champa. So instead of playing Champa, I'm playing this. So you could still arguably play Champa, but it's my side currently. 54 card main deck. Almost decked out once because that burst 3 does hurt. But it's really nice. One of your tokens. Searchable targets. Got 3 of the Gohan anti-hand destruction, and then 1 copy of your SS4 Annihilator. In reality, this never came up, but these came in against green every time. So I'm going to switch at the side. So I will put in some Deburas for anti-hate, because this deck does have a decent matchup against Self Surge, post side especially. And it really gets better whenever you have Debura, because you do have the Lord Slug engine to help kill Black Mass Sand, so they don't put it out early. 3 Whis, this is your anti-blue. This deck does get farmed by blue to an extent, so because your boss monster can easily get counterplayed, and it's hard to get for us to get rid of Unison. So blue is really hard for this deck. Just keep that in mind. 1 Tyrannical Blow. This is really good. You can counterplay the Unison and or just kind of play something in general, and then negate a unison, or just stop riposte and topo, stuff like that. Remember, this does not get around cards that have the effects upon counterattack. So cards like the Bupo and so they're in the Oceanus. Yeah, they don't care about this card, so because they activate upon the counter effect. So keep that in mind. Also, this can hit Pan, I do believe, unless I'm wrong. I have to look that up. But got 2 Vegeta Unison. This did not come up, but in theory, it would be really good against Gogeta to stall off a couple turns. Steadfast helps you a lot against that deck. You got Swift Retaliation Cooler, second copy, really nice. It's blue and it's anything that plays a lot of counters. 1 removal. Max power is really good, especially in just yellow in general. This is a good splashable 1 cost. I didn't side it in, but I sided this in a little bit. I got the Finish You package. This helps you against decks that you don't really care to have Secret Identity. I'd rather just have this. So keep that in mind. These cards are just there to help you clean the game up if you really feel like you need some more aggression or you're going to time or something. They could arguably go on the main, but it's not that necessary. Then you got 1 Fu, Shrouded in Mystery. This is just good against Hatchiyak and a few other decks, since you do want to find a way to kill the game. You do have a decent matchup against Hatchiyak in the form of your boss monster gets around with Hatchiyak's effect, because it's 8 costs and it has dual attack, so that really does help against that deck. So if you play this behind Hatchiyak, behind the boss monster, this is ridiculous for them to deal with. But thank you guys for checking out my videos and watching all the streaming content. Make sure you check out my Twitch. We're on the cusp of 100 followers, and I think we're at 99. You can watch me there or here. Either one works. All the support in the world helps. And we're gonna be doing some deck box things and T-shirts and stuff like that. So keep that in mind that we will be doing a lot more things going forward. This is one of the custom boxes I got made. And we're gonna do a giveaway and stuff like that for boxes in the future. So yeah, thank you guys for watching once again. Deuces.